this is just a recall of our lesson on Module 1 and a continuation also for Module 2. So, joint variation. So, pag sinabi nating joint variation, it is a relationship between three variables where one variable varies directly as the product of two or more variables. So, ang joint variation ay para lang siyang direct variation na nadagdagan pa ng isa pang variable. So, we are comparing three variables in this kind of variation. So, how are we going to determine whether it is a joint variation? So, the statement, A varies jointly as B and C, may be translated mathematically as A is equal to KBC. So, kung mapapansin ninyo, yung A, yung unang letter na binanggit, or unang variable na binanggit doon sa statement, yun yung nilalagay natin on the left side of the equation. And then, after nung varies jointly, yung dalawang variables na B and C ay nilalagay naman natin sa right side ng equation kasama ni K, where K is the constant of variation. Or, how are we going to write the equation for K naman? So, para makuha naman natin yung equation for K, kung ano yung kasama ng K dito sa ating equation na A is equal to KBC, we are just going to put it on the denominator, and then yung variable on the left side ay ilalagay natin as numerator. So, ang equation natin for K ay A is equal to A over BC. So, let us translate two more statements into an equation. So, paano ba natin to ita-translate? Yung number 1. The force F applied to an object varies jointly as the mass M and the acceleration A. So, kung makikita ninyo, iba na yung kulay ng mga letters na gagamitin natin into the equation. So, para mas madali po natin gawing equation, so, ginawa ko ng kulay red yung tatlong variables na kino-compare natin. So, yung F ilalagay natin sa left side ng equation, yung M and A ilalagay natin sa right side ng equation kasama ng K. So, ang equation natin for number 1 is F is equal to KMA. Or, paano naman natin hahanapin yung equation for K? So, yung dalawang variables na kasama ni K, ilalagay natin sa denominator, and F or yung variable on the left side of the equation na ilalagay natin as numerator. So, ang equation natin for K is equal to F over MA, or F divided by the product of M and A. So, number 2, the volume V of a pyramid varies jointly as the area of the base B and the altitude H. So, paano natin gagawing equation yan? So, yung unang variable na binanggit, yung V, lalagay natin on the left side of the equation. At yung dalawang variables na huling binanggit ay ilalagay natin sa right side ng equation kasama ng K. So, V is equal to KBH. So, how are we going to write naman the equation for K? So, kung ano yung dalawang letters na kasama ni K, so B and H, so ilalagay lang natin siya as denominator, and V on the left side of the equation will be the numerator. So, our equation for K is equal to B over the product of BH. Okay? So, how are we going to find an equation of variation where A varies jointly as B and C? And A is equal to 36 when B is equal to 3 and C is equal to 4. So, hanapin daw natin dito yung equation ng variation. So, kamukha ng ginawa natin sa direct at saka sa inverse, how are we going to find the equation of the variation? So, the first step that we are going to do is to translate the statement into mathematical equation. Aling statement po yung itatranslate natin into mathematical equation? Yung statement na A varies jointly as B and C. Ito po, A varies jointly as B and C. So, how are we going to write it as an equation? Okay, so yung unang variable on the left side, the other two variables on the right side together with K. So, ang equation natin is A is equal to KBC. So, step number 2, write the equation for K. So, ano ba ang equation natin for K? So, para makuha natin yung equation for K, yung dalawang variables na kasama ni K, ilalagay lang natin sa denominator, at yung A ang ilalagay natin sa numerator. So, our equation for K is equal to A over BC. So, now, we are going to get the value of K. So, paano natin hahanapin yung value ni K? Gagamitin lang natin tong equation na to. So, we are going to substitute the value of A, B, and C dun sa given natin sa taas. So, ang A natin is 36, ang B natin is 3, at ang C natin ay 4. So, magiging 36 over, ano yung B? 3 multiplied by yung value ng C, which is 4. So, 36 over 3 times 4. So, we are going to multiply 3 and 4. So, pag minultiply natin yon, ang sagot ay 12. So, 36 divided by 12. 36 divided by 12 is equal to 3. So, ang K natin dyan ay 3. So, from that, we are going to proceed with the next step. So, ang step number 3 natin is write the equation of the variation, which is yun yung hinahanap doon sa ating problem, equation of variation. So, paano natin gagawin yung equation ng variation? Yung A is equal to KBC, papalitan lang natin nung nakuha nating value ni K kanina, which is 3. Alin ang papalitan? Yung letter K or yung ating constant of variation. So, ang magiging equation natin ay A is equal to 3BC. So, yun po yung hinahanap natin. Equation of variation. So, A is equal to 3BC. Okay? So, let's have another example. Z varies jointly as x and y. If z is equal to 16 when x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 6, find the constant of variation and the equation of the variation. So, this example, ang hinahanap naman ay constant of variation and the equation of the variation. So, we are just going to follow the steps, yung kamukhaan ng tatlong steps kanina. So, step number 1, translate the statement into mathematical equation. Alin yung itatranslate natin? Yung z varies jointly as x and y. So, our equation will be yung unang variable on the left side, yung dalawang variables on the right side together with k. So, z is equal to k, x, y. Okay po? Step number 2, write the equation for k. So, from this equation, how are we going to write the equation for k? Sabi ko nga kanina, yung kasama ni k, which is x and y, ilalagay lang natin sa denominator and the variable on the left side of the equation will be on the numerator. So, our equation for k is equal to z over xy. So now, how are we going to solve for k? So para ma-solve natin si k, isa-substitute lang natin yung values ng z, x, and y. So ang z natin is 16, ang x natin is 4, multiplied by y, which is 6. So 16 over 4 multiplied by 6. So we are going to get the product of 4 and 6, and that will be 24. So ikakopy lang natin si 16. So 16 divided by 24. So since 16 is not divisible by 24, we will just simplify. So, both numbers are divisible by 8. So, pag dinivide natin sa 8, magiging 2 over 3. Okay po? So, ang value ng k natin is 2 over 3. So, now, step number 3, we are going to write the equation of the variation. So, paano natin gagawin yon? Babalik lang tayo dun sa ating statement na ginawang mathematical equation. And then, we are going to substitute the value of k kung ano yung k na nasolve natin. So, ang k na nasolve natin is 2 over 3. So, papalitan mo lang dito sa equation na to. So, magiging sagot natin is z is equal to 2 over 3 x, y. So, ayun na yung hinahanap. So, yung equation of the variation and the value of k or the constant of variation. Okay? So, how are we going to solve problems involving joint variation? So, I have here example number 1. Z varies jointly as x and y. If z is equal to 3 when x is equal to 3 and y is equal to 15, find z when x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 9. So, kung makikita ninyo, ginawa ko siyang table of values para mas madali ko malaman kung ano-ano yung mga gagamitin ko dun sa mga unang steps at dun sa last steps para mahanap ko yung nawawala, which is z. So, yung unang values ng x, y, z ay sinulat ko. So, ang z natin ay 3, ang x natin ay 3 at ang y natin ay 15. Ang tinatanong, ano daw yung magiging value ni z kapag ang x natin ay naging 6 at ang y natin ay naging 9. So, this is step number 1. So, ang gagawin natin, itatranslate natin yung statement into mathematical equation. Alin yon? Yung z varies jointly as x and y. So, our equation will be z is equal to kxy. So, step number 2, write the equation for k. So, out of this equation, we can find the equation for k, and that is, so kung ano yung kasama ni k, lalagay natin sa denominator, yung z will be on the numerator. So, our k is equal to z over xy, or z divided by the product of x and y. And then, we are going to substitute, alin po, yung tatlong unang values ng x, y, and z para mahanap natin si k. So, z is equal to 3, ito yon. And then, x is equal to 3, ayun, multiplied by the value of y, which is 15. So, 3 over 3 multiplied by 15. So, ngayon, kopyahin lang natin si numerator and multiply 3 and 15. So, that is equal to 45. So, 3 over 45. So, pwede natin siyang i-simplify. Both numbers are divisible by 3. So, when divided by 3, we will get 1 over 15. So, ang k natin dyan is 1 over 15. So, pag nakuha na natin si k, proceed tayo sa step number 3. Gawa tayo ng equation ng variation. So, paano nga tayo ulit gagawa ng equation ng variation? From this mathematical equation, z is equal to kxy. So, palitan lang natin yung k doon ng 1 over 15. So, z is equal to 1 over 15 xy. So, yan yung equation ng variation natin. So, from this equation, pwede na nating mahanap yung unknown nung binigay yung pangalawang value ni x and y. So, sunod. Step number 4, we are going to solve for the unknown or for z. So, what are we going to do? We need to substitute the value of x and y with the equation of the variation. So, the equation of the variation is z is equal to 1 over 15 x multiplied by y. So, i-substitute natin yung pangalawang value ng x and y. So, that will become z is equal to 1 over 15. The value of x is 6. So, that is 6 multiplied by y. That is 9. So, 1 over 15 times 6 times 9. So, we can simplify. So, how are we going to simplify? We can cancel out 15 and 6 because both are divisible by 3. So, when 15 is divided by 3, the answer is 5. When 6 is divided by 3, the answer is 2. So, that will become 1 times 2 times 9. So, yung 6 natin magiging 2 na lang, and then copy 9, and then copy 1, and then yung 15 na naging 5 nasa denominator. So, simplify lang natin yung numerator. So, 1 times 2 times 9. So, the answer is 18. And then copy 5. So, 18 over 5, or simply 3.6. So, therefore, the value of C is 3.6 when x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 9. Okay? So, another example, we have D varies jointly as H and G. So, makikita nyo ibang variables na yung ginamit. So, we have D is equal to 15 when H is equal to 4 and G is equal to 5. So, the question is, find G when H is equal to 21 and D is equal to 8. So, again, sinulat ko siya as table of values para mas madaling malaman kung ano yung unang gagamitin at saka yung gagamitin to be able to solve for the unknown. So, step number 1 is to translate the statement into mathematical equation. Alin yung statement? Yung D varies jointly as H and G. So, the equation is D is equal to K, H, G. So, step number 2, write the equation for K. So, from this equation, the equation for K is K is equal to D over HG. So, kung ano yung kasama ni K, nasa denominator, yung nasa left side, nasa numerator. So, substitute lang natin yung values ng D, H, and G. Ito yon, yung tatlo. So, D is equal to 15, H is equal to 4, and G is equal to 5. So, 15 over 4 multiplied by 5. So, simplify lang natin yung denominator. So, copy the numerator 15. So, 4 times 5, that is equivalent to 20. So, 15 over 20, pwede nating paliitin, isi-simplify. So, both numbers are divisible by 5. So, pag dinivide natin parehas sa 5, so we will have 3 over 4. So, ang value ng K natin ay 3 over 4. So, step number 3 is to write the equation of the variation. So, from step number 1, yung K natin doon is papalitan lang natin ng 3 over 4. So, ang magiging equation natin is D is equal to 3 over 4 HG. Okay? So, now, we are ready to find the missing variable, which is G. Substitute lang natin yung H and D dun kanina sa ating equation of the variation. So, ang ating equation of the variation is D is equal to 1 over 15 HG. So, yung H at saka yung D, ipapalitan natin ng value. So, 8 is equal to 1 over 15 and h is equal to 21 multiplied by g kasi yung g yung unknown. So, simplify lang natin. So, yung 15 and 21 are both divisible by 3. So, pag dinivide natin sa 3 yan, magiging 7 yung 21, tapos yung 15 magiging 5. So, simplify lang natin to. So, 1 times 7 is 7g over 5. So, 8 is equal to 7g over 5. So, what are we going to do next? We need to multiply 8 and 5. So, 8 multiplied by 5, the answer is 40 is equal to 7g. So, to be able to solve for the value of g, we need to divide both sides of the equation by 7. So, 7g divided by 7 and 40 divided by 7. So, ang nakuha nating sagot, g is equal to 5.71 or 40 over 7 is accepted. So, therefore, g is equal to 5.71 when h is equal to 21 and d is equal to 8. So, next. So, this example is a problem regarding the area of a triangle. So, the area of a triangle varies jointly as the base and the height. A triangle with a base of 8 cm and a height of 9 cm has an area of 36 square centimeter. So, ang tanong, find the area when the base is 10 cm and the height is 7 cm. So, from this problem, we need to follow the steps pa rin nung ginawa natin kanina kung paano mag-solve ng unknown sa isang variation. So, dito, we will follow 3 simple steps pa rin. So, kung makikita nyo po, yung una, ginawa ko po is, sinulat ko po yung given doon sa ating problem. So, yung area which is 36 square centimeters, B is equal to 8 centimeters, and the height is 9 centimeters. So, ang tanong, ano daw yung magiging area ni triangle kapag ang base ay naging 10 at ang height ay naging 7, sorry. So, solution is to translate the statement into a mathematical sentence. So, yung statement natin kanina that the area varies jointly as the base and the height. So, A is equal to KBH yung ginawa nating equation. So, from this equation, we will solve for K. So, paano ba natin isosolve si K? So, kung ano yung kasama ni K, ilalagay natin sa denominator at yung letter or variable on the left side of the equation ay sa numerator. So, ang equation for K natin is K is equal to A over BH. So, we need to substitute lang the values of A, BH with K is equal to A, BH. So, yung A natin is 36, yung B natin is 8, and yung H natin is 9. Kaya naging 36 over 8 multiplied by 9. So, simplify lang natin yung denominator. So, copy 36. So, 8 times 9 is equal to 72. So, 36 and 72 can be simplified and that is equivalent to 1/2. Okay po? So, after natin makuha si K, ano nga yung ginagawa natin? We are going to write the equation for the variation. So, ang magiging equation ng variation natin, A is equal to 1/2 BH. So, ngayon, pwede na nating mahanap kung ano yung area ng triangle na hinahanap kapag ang base ay naging 10 at ang height ay naging 7. So, ayun, substitute lang natin dun sa ating original equation. So, yung A is equal to KBH. So, A is equal to 1/2. So, yung B palitan natin ng 10, yung H palitan natin ng 7. So, simplify lang natin yan. So, 10 times 7 is 70 times 1/2. So, that is 70 over 2. 70 divided by 2 is equal to 35. So, yun yung sagot natin. So, therefore, ang area ng triangle ay 35 square centimeter. So, kung ano yung ginamit na unit dun sa problem, yun din yung ilalagay nating final answer doon sa ating sagot.